All right, a very big welcome to you, my awesome viewers from all over the world. This is The Truth with Ben Jokes, your trusted political talk show. Now, the APC as a political party was built on deception and lies, and because the foundation is faulty, even if a politician means well, he cannot perform well under the APC. As a matter of fact, very brilliant individuals have been reduced to simple things once they join the APC. Look at this. Minister of Finance Wale Edun began his career as minister by saying Nigeria can't rely on borrowing. He went ahead to say Nigeria must stop borrowing to fund budget. These statements he made in front of the Senate. He revealed these things after going through our financial statements as a nation. He said, no, this is not good. He said it was terrible due to incessant borrowing. But the same Wale Edun, after a few months, returned and said, Nigeria needs more borrowing. You see, when a man, an economist of this caliber, makes such a direct U-turn on a matter as big as this, it is either he has been told to lie to the people or he has never been a worthy economist. And in either case, Nigeria is in trouble. This is not a government that should be in place for 8 good years after a Buhari. And few hours ago, news of an attack on a lawmaker in his hometown began circulating. Angry youth stormed his house with corpses of his constituents that were killed by Fulani headsmen after an attack, and they almost burnt down the lawmaker and his 3 children to death in their house. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update from Aso Rock began circulating. The Attorney General of the Federation disgraced himself and his employer TINUBU after he exposed the scam that they both cooked. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. Charles of Arise TV took APC spokesman Kashim Afegbua to the cleaners. Kashim asked for ideas from the opposition. Charles gave him an idea that the opposition had given many times. Immediately, he rejected the idea. Then he began saying that the opposition should be doing the work that TINUBU should be doing, so that TINUBU will sit down and do nothing. What a funny video. Check it out.
It will be suicidal for you to make such a generous conclusion on the points you raise. You see, I am not going to be surprised if Ahmed didn't speak in this manner, because typical of Nigerian opposition, they know how to grandstand, but address the critical issues based on alternative viewpoints. It becomes a problem for them. And I'm still searching for their alternative policy formation in terms of even suggestions or ideas that can help deepen conversation around governance in this country.
Yeah, but they're not the ones in power. You're the ones in power. It's you whose 2 years are being examined.
Charles, they are part and parcel of the Nigerian system, and if they have the interests of the people at heart, they should be telling government or other institutions of government that this policy will have been better and all of that, because government naturally...
Well, they have... In fairness to them, and I don't mean to interrupt you, they've made the point consistently that the issue is not the removal of subsidy. The issue is the way that you removed it.
Please.
You could have staggered it. You could have made it less problematic for people, whilst you found ways to cushion it.
Charles, that's a matter.
They have made that suggestion.
You see, that is a matter of opinion from those who do not understand the workings of government. Let me tell you, we must commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for taking that bold decision from the first day of being sworn into this office, into the office. Now, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken the bull by the horn by dropping subsidy and ensuring that we confront the problems thereafter, it means that he wants to put the hardest of decisions in the front burner, so that one way or the other he could provide solutions to it. Now, if he has waited for 2 months, 3 months, all the economic predators and buccaneers who were feasting on subsidy will have derailed the entire process, and perhaps you'll still be genuflecting in terms of taking the right decision on the issue of subsidy. Now, more money. I want opposition, politicians and those who are preparing to think that they want to come and preside over the country, to be interrogating the resources that are accruing to the states. because we now have more allocation being given to the state.
In fairness to you, that's a good point.
Yes, and in that way, we want to see what these monies are translating to, because it's a tripartite arrangement: the federal government, the state, and the local government.
Yeah.
And so that way, we will be able to do some level of collaboration and cooperative system that will encourage and ensure that life becomes better for the
But the fact
person.
remains
Yes.
that you're the people in power. It is also, you have the power of the government, you have the power to regulate things, you have the executive power with the police and everything to be a check and balance on any excesses in the country. So it actually falls on you to do those
Charles, let me
primarily.
tell you,
You heard that. You know, many times we are quick to say the spokespersons of APC are working for their money. We shouldn't mind what they are saying. They are just working for their money. But I keep saying there should be a limit to sycophancy, because at a point it will be tending towards madness. This man said that the opposition was not bringing ideas, when everybody in this country knows that a week hardly passes by without Peter Obi helping the TINUBU government with an idea. But they always reject the idea, just as he did there. They gave him an idea on how they should have removed subsidy, but he rejected it. He said it was not possible to do it that way. And we know that it is possible. Next, he began saying that more money is going to the states now, that the opposition should begin to pursue the states, to police the states and check how they are using the money. Are you for real? So every month, Tinubu will gather governors and give them big allocation. He will gather House of Rep members and give them billions for constituency projects. Then it is Peter Obi that should now start policing them to see if they are using the money well. This is what an adult is sitting down on air to say. Then when we say that he is mad, when we say he has mental problem, you will say we are being too hard on him. How can you say such things? And of course, Charles told him, you are the one in charge of the police, you are the one in charge of the judiciary, the army. If anybody is not doing what they ought to do with the allocations that you have given to them, you are the one that has the primary responsibility to police them, to checkmate them. Why are you asking Peter Obi to do your job? This is shameful, to say the least. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that story about that lawmaker who was almost lynched to death, he and his children, when members of his constituency visited his house with corpses after a Fulani attack. And next is that disgraceful story coming out of Aso Rock. Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, disgraced himself and his employer Tinubu when he exposed the scam that they both cooked. Let's start by taking that update concerning that lawmaker from Benue State. Look at how the papers reported it. Armed headsmen kill 3 in Makurdi. Irate youths move corpses to lawmakers' residence. At least 3 persons have been confirmed dead following a suspected armed herdsmen attack on the Se Ojime community, Agan of Umbala Council Ward in Makurdi local government area of Benue State. The attack left the members of the community, which is less than 3 kilometers from the heart of Makurdi town, scampering and fleeing through the Makurdi-Daudu highway and to the north bank axis of the state's capital. The eyewitness disclosed that after the invaders retreated, the youths of the community recovered 3 corpses from the farms, which they moved to the foot of the home of the lawmaker representing Makurdi North in the State House of Assembly, Mr. Alfred Berger. He said the angry youth of the community took the corpses to his residence to register their protest over the killings. They almost razed his house, but for the quick intervention of the police. The lawmaker, who also confirmed the incident, disclosed that armed headsmen attacked my people and killed 3 persons in their farms. The 3 corpses of those killed in the attack were brought to my house by angry youths who almost burnt down my house and my children who were at the home at the time. Lamenting the situation, the lawmaker said, since I was elected, we have made sure that there is relative peace in our area until the unfortunate incident of Thursday. This is how it should be. This is how the people should be reacting. Since they are saying that you will not sleep, they, the politicians, should also not sleep. As a matter of fact, I suggest that every politician in Benue State, especially the APC ones, start visiting their houses. Be showing them that you are also restless. Instead of packing yourselves in thousands and staying in those IDP camps, everybody should just live there and go and occupy the governor's house. This is what these politicians deserve. This is the kind of aggression that can get them to stop these evil acts that they are perpetrating. Because I maintain that every member of the APC has a hand in this insurgency. So if the people can begin to act with aggression like this, then maybe they can see the end of it. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update from the Attorney General that disgraced himself and his employer TINUBU began making the rounds. Look at how the papers reported it. Now, for the shameful celebration of TINUBU's 2 years in office, all his appointees were told to sit down and cook up lies as achievements. We saw the lies from the Ministry of Agric. We saw the lies from the Ministry of Education, from the Minister of Finance and all that. So the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, had to cook up his own lies. Look at what he came up with. Looted funds, EFCC, ICPC have recovered $967.5 billion. You heard that. $967.5 billion and 277 billion naira. He said this to give the impression that this administration was fighting corruption. Now, this information coincided with when TINUBU submitted a letter to the National Assembly asking to take a $21.5 billion loan. $21.5 billion loan when EFCC and ICPC claimed to have recovered $967.5 billion, and Nigerians began questioning, Nigerians began castigating, and they began mocking TINUBU and the Attorney General, saying if EFCC has recovered $967.5 billion, why are you approaching the National Assembly for a $21.5 billion loan? This one was so clear. There was no room for argument. The likes of Bayo Ononuga and Sunday Dari and all of them had no defense to give to this matter. So the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, had to run out hours ago, and he said this. Attorney General Lateef Fagbemi has dismissed claims that Nigeria recovered $967.5 billion in 2024, confirming the accurate figure as $105.9 million. What a shame. You made a pronouncement, a direct pronouncement of a very small figure, though very enormous amount, but the figure is just little, it's not so big, $967 billion. You said it, and you are coming out few days later because Nigerians are now on your matter. They are now asking you to provide that money because TINUBU wants to take $21.5 billion loan. The National Assembly is close to approving it, and the Attorney General has in his possession $967.5 billion. Why not bring it out? When he saw that the people were screaming, he now had to come out and make this disgraceful statement. So clearly, it is both ways. It is either they don't have shishi, it is either they have not recovered a dime, or they are trying to loot what they have recovered. So either way, it is a loss for them. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. Dr. Bankole here says, how could someone make a mistake releasing a number $967.5 billion instead of $105.9 million? This is one of the many flip-flops of this government. Something is fishy and definitely stinks. That is it. Something has always been fishy. They have never done anything accurate from the beginning of this regime till this very moment. And this tweet whereby Big Bolahon says, the difference is clear. How did you come about the first figure? Should we blame glitches? Because I don't understand. 900% increase and you expect us to believe you. That is it. There is no relationship between the first figure and the second one you called. There is no reason why that kind of mistake should come to be. The foul play is very clear here. And Sam Drew here says, it is the propaganda machine backfiring. When you lie too much, you have to create new ones to cover up. That is it. Just as I said from the very beginning, a government that is built on deception and falsehood, lies, can never stand. Because when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? So even if you have good intentions in governance in Nigeria, once you join the APC, you can never do well. Some people will come and say, Ben Jokes, you criticize the APC too much. All these parties are the same. No, they are not. I was in this country during the PDP reign, and I am still in this country. I can tell you clearly that the APC is a demonic party. And if Nigerians don't get rid of them, nothing will ever move forward in this country. And that is why I keep telling Nigerians that for us to have a country in the near future, we must come together, cast our sentiments aside, and get the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news. We wanna go like. Why? Because of now I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go.